Check. 1 2 3. 1 2 3. Hey, check it out, guys. Doesn't it look professional here? New wireless mic. It's cool, huh? Yeah. It just like clips on, and too bad it doesn't work though. I'm hoping to get an adapter so it'll actually fit my phone. Pretty sure I did a video one time talking about it. Said right on the Amazon there, iPhone 15. Nope. But it does come in this cool little case here. 2 microphones. That's one I just took off. I don't know why it's lit up. Sometimes it's best not to ask questions. And this is the thing that's supposed to plug into the phone. It doesn't go. Anyway, back to business. Welcome to tonight's show. I'm afraid I've got some bad news for you. I know I promised tonight we were going to have stupid pet tricks. And then I was talking to my brother, and he said, "You don't have any pets." And I realized he was right, and so that kind of screwed that up. So now I got time to fill, and I thought, how about the little viewer mail? Let's see what the fans are asking for, huh? Let's see here. Dear Muckster, this comes to us from Polonius. I think, isn't that the stuff they put in atom bombs? Anyway, it says, "Hey Muckster, I really enjoyed your favorite things episode about your favorite movies. How about you talk about TV shows next?" That's an idea. It's also interesting that you liked my movie episode when I'm pretty sure it hasn't actually aired yet. But whatever. Hey, when the fans ask, I gotta go for it, right? So I actually was thinking about with doing TV, and I think what I'm going to talk about tonight is some of my favorite shows that are. I really like the 1 hour dramas. You know, if I start into sitcoms, I mean that'd be a whole conversation on its own there. You know, because with them, I mean you got your MASH, you know, and your Seinfeld and Modern Family. There's a lot to dig into there. So, but I think really, even though I loved a lot of sitcoms, if I really talk about my favorite shows, it would be some of those 1 hour dramas. They're the kind that I'll go back and look at again. I gotta admit, I was a pretty big Grey's Anatomy fan. Although, and it's still going on, although I think the fact that there's no longer any Greys on Grey's Anatomy kind of ruins it. They're trying to get us interested now into like the whole like second generation thing, and I have a feeling that I won't be watching that anymore. But I was thinking about some shows. I'll go back a little. First couple of 1 hour dramas I really liked. Well, I'll tell you another category I can do sometime too is miniseries. Starting with the granddaddy of them all. I think they've really put miniseries on the map. Roots, but there's been others since then. But anyway, that's for another night. I think the first 1 hour drama that I can think of. No, I never did any of the nighttime soap opera things, you know, your Dallas, Knots Landing, that. But Hill Street Blues, man. I really liked that. Stephen Bochco. I watch it every week. I'll tell you, a funny thing about that, I only ever actually missed one episode. And of course, this was before the days of even having VCRs. So you couldn't like record, but I watched it every week, except the one week I was coming home from Pittsburgh Thursday night. I'm pretty sure Hill Street was a 10 o'clock Thursday night thing. And so I missed it, but I listened to it on the radio the whole way, not the whole way home, but for an hour of the drive, because the old analog radios, the FM band, well, I should know this now, is TV audio, was it FM or AM? Yeah, I'm pretty sure FM band. Now the FM band on radio, it goes to, and I'm trying to remember for sure, but it's like around 88 megahertz is the low. And the channel 6 audio, of course this is back when everything was analog antennas, was like 87.5 or something. So it was real close to the bottom of the FM radio band. And a lot of time, in a lot of radios, they would sort of overscan low, and you could pick up channel 6 television. So I listened to Hill Street that night, kind of as a radio show. But then the funny thing about it too is, a few years later, we were doing a fundraiser, and I wrote to different celebrities in that. We're doing a celebrity auction. I got things like. There was like a lot of autographed pictures. That's easy for them to do. And for all you know, people might have actually been buying their secretary's autographs. But we had some props and stuff and some scripts. And I got a Hill Street Blues script. If I thought of talking about this, I looked around to see if I could dig it out. Signed by Daniel J. Travanti. And the weird thing is, it was from that episode that I didn't get to see that night. It was just weird. Anyway, so Hill Street was one of my early favorites. But then, even better than Hill Street was the next big Bochco show. No, it wasn't Cop Rock. How many of you remember that? Not too many. I bet I was the only one, right? No, NYPD Blue. It was sort of like, Hill Street taken to the next level. And now that was a good show. In fact, that one, I just rewatched that like about a year ago, so from beginning to end. But those were good. Bochco was always good. The other guy I like a lot, and I wish he'd do something lately, Aaron Sorkin. Now the first thing I remember seeing of his was I believe it was called Sports Night. And it had to do with it was kind of like an ESPN show type thing. And even though I'm not like a huge sports guy, I enjoyed it because he writes good characters and stuff. And it's kind of like with books. A lot of people will say, I don't like whatever kind of, I don't like, science fiction, or I don't like this. But really the thing is, if you got a good writer who writes good characters, it doesn't matter what the genre is. And that's kind of like that with TV. It's like Bochco did this show on sports and I loved it. But then the king for Bochco, the one that I loved, and I've rewatched it a couple of times actually, beginning to end, is The West Wing. I loved it. And, well, I'm a fan of politics, and The West Wing was neat because there was a lot of truth in it, although they made some technical errors. But it was also, it's kind of sort of like Bochco, the characters are kind of like what he wishes the president of the United States would be, and that. But he's a very smart writer in that. And there's another Bochco show I liked, came after that. And it was really interesting. If you ever saw Newsroom, I think it might have been on HBO or something. I don't think it was broadcast TV, but it was cool because what they did with that, if you never saw it, is again, it was like a nightly news show. It'd be like it'd be like the 9 o'clock show on MSNBC or CNN or whatever. But the episodes they wrote about all real stuff, so it's kind of like things that had been in the news about 6 months before. He wrote stories about the people, about this newsroom, covering it. So that was cool. And that's another one that I rewatched it again not long ago. But it only, I think they only did about 3 seasons of that. That was a good show. And unfortunately, I got to wonder if they're sorry because it's like it ended just before the Donald Trump era. And I think they probably could have had a lot of fun with that. I remember, to show what they did, like the one night they did a whole thing on Bin Laden. The night they killed Bin Laden, and them knowing something big happened and waiting for it to report it and stuff. But anyway, yeah, that's there's really nothing on right now, I don't think, like that. I'll tell you other dramas I like. Those were like all networks. But hey, Game of Thrones was a goodie. I wasn't even as mad at the end as a lot of people were. Although there's things I thought, did they really have to do that? But I'll tell you another good one, and it's going off soon, is Yellowstone. And boy, that prequel season they did for 1883, that was a great show. If you haven't seen it, watch it. You don't even have to have watched Yellowstone because it happens, obviously, 100 years before Yellowstone. So I don't really want to say much about it because I don't want to do spoilers, but boy, it's a gritty look at a Western, a lot different than it was like a wagon train thing, but not like any wagon train movie you'd ever seen before. What else? Trying to think of anything else. I know there's stuff I'm not thinking of, but I don't know. You talk about my favorite things. I think my favorite show of all time was The West Wing. They were all good actors and brilliant writing. So, I think that's about it. Did I forget anything, Ed? Any announcements? No. Vegas. My Vegas show was canceled, so I won't be doing. I was supposed to be doing Vegas next weekend, but apparently I was supposed to be filling in, but apparently Carrot Top got over COVID, so he's, because he's got a residency there. So anybody who'd been looking forward to me in Vegas, sorry, maybe another time. Other than that, peace out.